They're calling out sick. They're walking out the towers. Air traffic controllers are done working for free, and I don't blame them. But see, as freelancers, we've been living that game for years. And I'm not comparing what we do to them, because obviously they're saving lives. I mean, that's understated. You can't even compare the two. And also, we choose to be in this game. They didn't ask for a government shutdown. But what I do want to focus on is the fact that although a lot of them walked out, the ones who are staying through the storm and continuing to work, even though they know that the paycheck is not coming, well, eventually it's going to come, but it's not coming anytime soon, and they're really risking a lot of things. See, that's how we feel a lot of times as freelancers. Again, I'm not comparing the two, so don't come in the comments talking about, oh, well, these people and you're not up to their level. I'm not claiming to be. I'm just trying to point out the main lesson and the main thing that people should pay attention to about weathering the storm. So let's talk some sense into a minute. Let's talk some sense for a minute. Now, here's why this connects with us, freelancers. See this whole situation? That's our life. Every week we work with no safety net. I mean, some people do have a safety net if you get to the point where you save up money and stuff like that. But for the most part, that's our life. And even if you do save up money, you're taking a risk. Every week we work, no safety net. Sometimes you work with no pay. You got to invest time into yourself, or delayed pay. We deal with clients ghosting invoices sometimes, projects getting paused, or contracts that suddenly vanish. Now, we don't have a union or back pay, or sometimes not even an official thank you. Just us figuring it out. That's all we got, man. Just us figuring it out. So when I see air traffic controllers walking out or holding on, I get it, because really that's a mirror of how we live, like I said before. So let's break down a few lessons to learn from this whole situation as freelancers. Lesson number 1, the storm tests your values. Working through the chaos doesn't just show that you can endure it. It reveals what you stand for. Those controllers who are staying, and again, not knocking the ones who walked away, but the ones who are staying, they're not just clocking in. They're saying, my name's attached to the system and I'm not going to let it collapse. And as freelancers, we've been there. Maybe the client didn't pay. Maybe the project went left. But you still finished the job because your name was on it. Or you still did a good job when it was unappreciated because your name was on it. And that's the thing. Sometimes staying through the storm pays off more than leaving and trying to find something new. And again, some people have to leave. Maybe they have a situation that's guaranteed, and if they leave now, they'll take it. Cool. But for the most part, staying through the storm sometimes pays off more than leaving right away to find something new. Not every time, but when you're strategic, it really builds to the story of who you are. Simple and plain. Now look, lesson number 2. We don't get the same applause, but we should still take pride. Yeah, as a freelancer, here's the deal. Unless you have a real supportive system, around you, friends, family, somebody to really pat you on the back and tell you, they respect what you do, or they saw that sacrifice you made, we don't get the same applause. And not just as air traffic controllers. I'm talking most 9-to-5 jobs. I guess because most people don't relate, and that's cool. But I'm telling you, you still got to take pride. Now, when the government workers stay through a shutdown, the news is going to refer to them as heroes, and they are. But you know what? Freelancers deserve recognition sometimes, especially for those who really know what you're going through, because we work through the chaos too. And depending on what line of work you're in, you might be doing some real good in this world that a lot of people might not even realize. It could be that you have your own elevator repair company. You might have saved somebody out of a frozen elevator. And I'm sure they would agree with that. But Regardless, though, no one's going to write a headline about you as a small business, you know? But you got to go hard to keep your business alive and keep clients marketing going. And you got to just, I'm sorry, what am I saying here? I got so much on my mind right now, but I'm saying you got to keep your marketing going. You got to keep your clients happy. You got to just work through the storm without the pat on the back. So I guess what I'm saying is this, right? I want freelancers to understand, when you see other people going through this and they get a pat on their back, and if you're wondering why you don't get a pat on your back, that's normal, but don't use that as a reason to quit or feel less than anybody else. So if no one ever told you, I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Here's a pat on your back. Here's a heart-to-heart from a freelancer himself. Now, lesson number 3. Leaving doesn't make you weak, but staying can make you wise. Let's be real. Sometimes walking away is the easy move. You got to protect your mental health, your finances, and your dignity. But if you can stay, if you can ride the wave just a little bit longer, that could pay off bigger than an escape sometimes. Because storms always end, and when they do, the people who stayed, the ones who proved they can handle the pressure, often come out stronger. They're more trusted, they're more valuable, and it's not just about the grit. It's about foresight, playing chess, not checkers. Lesson number 4, freelancers are built for shutdowns. When the system breaks, most people panic. But freelancers, we adapt. I mean, most of us. Not all, but the good ones do. We've been through dry seasons, ghost clients, the checks in the mail, lies. We've built emotional calluses, in a sense, and we had to come up with creative solutions. We're used to operating in uncertainty, and this is why freelancers can actually learn from this moment with the air traffic controllers. To remember that when others crumble under stability, we already know the rhythm. We know how to create work, and we got to just keep going when the system stops moving. Real talk. So look, here's my final thought. To every controller, every worker, every freelancer, the storm doesn't define you, but how you move through it does. Now, sometimes staying through the storm pays off more than leaving and finding something new. And as freelancers, we've already been taught that lesson from a long time ago. Every time we keep creating, keep showing up, keep building our name that no one's clapping for us, yeah, that part. Because one day, when the chaos clears, people will look at you and realize, man, we're the ones keeping the lights on, keeping the momentum, especially, again, if you have a job that's really contributing to another business or family or society in general. Maybe a few people might pat you on the back, but for the most part, you got to do it from your heart, and you got to do it knowing that you're self-fulfilled. Simple and plain. Hope you guys really soak something in from that. Whether you agree or disagree, feel free to comment about it. We could talk about it. But nonetheless, stay up, and I'll see you on the next one.